Hello. You're watching Out of the Box podcast. I'm your host, Jim Andre. I'm here with my co-host, Bradley Powers. We have a special guest tonight, Toni Wolz. Hi, Toni.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Doing real well.
Toni, is it fair to call you a conduit and an experiencer? Is that a fair comment?
A conduit?
Yes. Do you receive messages or see spirits?
Yes, I have. I have a couple times. It hasn't been very often, and I've actually tried to slow it down a tad, which I was trying to work on me, and I wanted to be completely prepared for everything or anything and everything. So, but yeah, I'm preparing to open it wide open again.
Okay. When did you experience your first phenomenal experience, Toni?
Wow. I think it was around 2012. That's when I experienced my very first spiritual experience. I only told a couple people afterwards. 2 people to be exact.
That's when I experienced my alien abduction was 2012, the fall of 2012, yeah.
Oh, that's a fascinating one. That sounds a lot more amazing than, well, mine was being helped. Mine was being somebody, a spirit trying to help me because I was
like a guardian angel of some sort.
Yes, that's exactly what I think it was, because I had immediate healing when I was touched. But yeah, this spirit was really tall, probably, I think about 7.5 feet tall. I could say 8, but just looking at my ceilings here in my office.
So were you frightened at first, or?
I wasn't really frightened. I was more mesmerized and shocked and surprised and in awe.
Yeah.
And I had to keep asking myself, did this really happen? Is this?
Yeah, because when you're not used to that, something bizarre like that, you start to question yourself,
Yeah, I was too. I was like, you know, am I going crazy? Like, is this possible? I mean, I'm healed though. I'm perfectly healed and, being touched. And I didn't even put it together like touched by an angel until a long time later. But I know that I was definitely touched on the shoulder, just lightly touched. The being was like floating. It was almost as if, they it was a he for sure, and he had an aura like this freeness. He was just real beautiful and sweet and happy, and like he had this love emanating from him that
Yeah, it was a positive spirit where you could feel the positive energy. Yeah,
oh my gosh, immensely. It was overcoming over, and
overwhelming. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, definitely. But I wound up telling someone that I was really close with, and it turned out that that person was a very spiritual person. And the funny thing is that that person died just a few months later after I told him. And
oh
I
wow,
think that I was supposed to because I couldn't tell anyone. And for some reason, I felt okay. I think I can. I think I should tell someone. It was the first time I ever
right.
told anyone. I wound up telling my grandfather.
Well, that's something that you got to come comfortable within yourself to be able to speak about.
Absolutely, because of yeah,
Because I went through the same thing with my abduction. I was beside myself for the longest time. Before I needed time to think about it and rationalize. For a period of time before I could just come out and talk about it.
yeah. I understand completely. I really do. Most people, even today, and this was that long ago, and nowadays everything is kind of opening up more. Like there
Right.
is no way that I could ever say that on a podcast back then. People think you're
Right.
crazy.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
everything is kind of opening up a whole lot more, and I
My
think
my my experience is really bizarre. So I mean,
really
there's probably a lot of individuals out there that think I'm crazy, but I know what I experienced. So you know,
right, absolutely. Gosh, I can't. I want to hear about it someday. I'd love to get on there and hear about it. I know a lot of people would love it.
yeah, I
You
think
know,
most of the viewers that are steady viewers of ours know my story, but yeah,
is it on here on one of your podcasts?
yeah, it should be. Or maybe
All right,
a
I'll
number
find
of
it.
them actually. Yeah,
I'll find it. I didn't know if I did my QHHT session, so
yeah. How did you make out with that?
I wanted to let you know that I did not feel in any way, shape, or form like I was being coerced or hypnotized to say anything or do anything against my will.
Uh,
I wanted to let you know that because I know
all right,
about them TV shows you were talking about,
right.
but it was truly like a miracle, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I highly recommend it to people. I
So it
did get
was
some
a
answers.
positive experience.
Absolutely. It was actually a mixture of positive and there was some negative there too. Um, yeah, I discovered that I had some sort of spiritual being that was causing me trouble.
Uh,
We had to make it leave. We had to keep telling it, you got to leave, you got to go away. I'm seeing way too many people in this meditation. We can't focus and get to my higher self. We
right.
need for you to go away. And
Yeah.
I
So that
said,
must
I
have been
won't.
a negative entity.
It was some sort of reptilian, okay, entity.
Uh,
And I think that they can, like, feed on your sadness. If you're sad in
Yeah.
any way,
they feed
um,
on your energy, your loosh. Yeah.
and I think in my experience, I think that it was actually causing me to have negative emotions. Like
Right.
there was a series of emotions or ideas back when I was bullied that I've never been able to completely get over. And these
Yeah.
bullying ideas have kind of hung on to me. Um, a person who everyone told me, well, I didn't know at the time, but everyone told me later that she was jealous or envious. But I was really young and I was in my early 20s, and she
Uh,
used to call me all kinds of names, um, at every holiday, you know.
oh yeah.
Either are you anorexic, and oh, what's wrong with you, Toni, and why are you so dressed up, and are you throwing up, and I mean,
Yeah.
other stuff that I don't even want to say, but it just still has haunted me. And actually, I think after we did this session, I'm kind of free of it. Once we made that thing leave, you know, I haven't let it haunt or bother me since. So there's something to that. There's really something to it. But the past lives, oh my gosh, the past lives were amazing.
That must have been fascinating, huh?
Yes, it was, because it was so subtle and it just crept upon me. And all of a sudden, I see myself standing in sand, you know? And she's asking me where I'm at, what I'm wearing. And I could see myself wearing like this white little schmuck. And I lived in a cave. And um, yeah, it was fascinating. Holding a spear, a big spear. And I had to have been like a Mexican. Like, I looked like I might have been, you know, Spanish or Mexican, like in Mexico on the beach, for sure, because, you know, and I lived in a cave and I've been cave diving. So all of it sort of makes me think, you know, why do I love Mexico so much? Like, I've been there 8 times. I love going there for vacation, right? And I've been all over. I think I used to be Mexican.
You got to know where to go there though, because that can be a dangerous place, can it? Yeah.
I guess, but I've never had any trouble. I've never had any issues, and I've been all over. I rode around on mopeds and rented cars and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Vic says there's no such thing as normal, so then we all must be crazy.
The good crazy, though, right?
Vic says they will feed off your ego-based emotions and the negativity going on around you and within you.
Yeah, yeah. I had a whole lot in my 20s. I I never, like, I held it in. Everything was held in. Everything. It was
So
just, you know.
how many previous lives were revealed during that session?
Yeah, two,
Oh yeah.
just two. But one of them, I was a dragon slayer. I literally slayed a dragon.
Wow.
It didn't show any violence. It just showed me running on the beach with a big spear in my hand. And I thought that they were birds. She asked me, I said, oh, there's birds flying over my head for some reason. Birds. And then all of a sudden, I saw a full size dragon over my head. And all of a sudden, the crazy thing is that it didn't show me hurting a dragon. It showed the dragon laying on the ground next to me, and me standing holding my spear like this Amazon, you know? And so she asked me if I had sympathy for the dragon, and I said, no. And she said, what do you feel? Okay, so I keep getting told that I might be clairsentient. I don't know, but the feeling that came over me, it was massive pride, accomplishment.
Right.
I achieved this, and I
Uh,
felt it through my whole body. Like these feelings was, and even in my tape she gave me, I was just listening to it after Bradley asked me to come back on. I thought, oh, I better listen to that again so that, and just in case. And the feeling came up over me again, like through my whole body. Like I felt that. And I'm standing there and the look on my face too, because I can see myself. And I'm looking and seeing, how great and tough I have this look of extreme pride and extreme accomplishment, not smiling or laughing, but like this tough, amazing look. And I'm thinking to myself, it was like I do this all the time or something.
well, at that point, you were the victor, right?
Yeah. And it showed people coming up and talking to me like I was almost protecting this area of people. And I had 2 children in a cave that had to feed. So I knew that I was going to take some of this dragon meat to feed these kids. I
Yeah.
knew that. So,
You were a dragon slayer.
yeah. And I think that it was supposed to make me feel better about myself and let me know that I take care of people. I'm strong and I'm brave, and that, I'm way better than what I
Tony,
think.
do you believe there are good dragons out there? You know that, don't you? There are good dragons out there.
Oh my gosh, I have a book. I love dragons. Like I
Oh yeah,
couldn't
I'm a
believe that I would
dragon.
want to,
I'm a dragon king, and you're dragon king. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I love dragons.
Yeah, dragon wise and all
I have a
knowing. Yeah.
dragonology book that, so I guess just being that person, now I love them. I, I don't know if that's the reason, but maybe if I was that person, somebody said it could even be a metaphor, you know,
Yeah.
but I
I
felt and saw
believe
it
God.
all.
I
Hmm?
believe God created angels, and then He created dragons. Dragons were here first before anybody. Dragons are not extraterrestrials, I believe. They are celestial beings, I believe,
I
and
do too.
they were here when the Earth was mortar and sulfur and volcanic ash, and like this, which is their ideal terrain. In the southwest of England, buried in the ground, there's the petrified scales, dragon scales of a dragon 6 miles long. They built a road over some of it, but you can see that the dragon is 6 miles long if you follow it.
Is that
Scales,
really?
dragon scales are still there.
Oh my gosh, that's
The
amazing.
only dragon that I'm aware of or familiar with is Puff, the magic dragon.
Yeah, yeah. I, uh, I don't know. I loved the dragons in Harry Potter, and he had to fight them, and it was exciting, and of course Merlin is. It's supposed to be a kids show, but I'm a kid at heart. I love that show
Merlin is
and
real,
his
Tony.
dragon.
I've encountered Merlin, Tony. I am a conduit, and I have encountered him on a few occasions. He introduced me to the occult, tarot cards, to many things. He awoken me from my slumber, to be honest with you.
Merlin.
So,
Oh my
I
God,
live I live 30 miles from where
I
Merlin
love
was born,
Merlin.
Tony.
You're
Merlin was
what?
born 30 miles away from me.
Really?
Yeah. And King Arthur was born 50 miles away from me in Newport.
Oh, that's
They
amazing.
are real people. They were real.
Oh,
They're not
yeah,
myths or
absolutely.
legends.
King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table and Merlin.
That's right. We're real.
Oh, yeah. Have you
Midnight
seen the show, Merlin? It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Midnight Rider says, "Good evening, everyone. Hi, Tony.
Hi.
Yes, the reptilians that are currently existing among us here in this realm literally feed off our low energetic vibrations."
Yeah. Well, I signed up for all of this pre-birth. So I know that there's one specific thing that I am trying to accomplish in this life, and that is my self-defeating emotions. I have got to stop with it. And I know that that is my number one goal in this lifetime. Self-defeating, beating myself up for past mistakes.
Yes.
Um, it's a big one. It's evidently I've done this. I've tried to do this several times and haven't been able to accomplish it yet. So I've got to try and do it this time. I'm not. I've got to try to do the law of attraction and try to force myself to stop. Beating myself up because
Yeah, I
I,
agree with that.
it's
I'm a
killing me.
spiritual advisor. You're welcome to message me, video chat with me anytime. I'll add
Absolutely.
you in a video call with me and Jim. I'm a spiritual advisor. Jim is a quantum healer. We might be able to help you with
Oh,
your
definitely.
quest
Thank
for
you so
sanity.
much. I
Yes,
need it.
we offer you our services. We can help you find sanctuary within your heart. David Daly says, I've lost Jim. David Daly says there is plenty of good dragons out there. The white ones seem to be the most friendly. Yeah, do you know there's over 100 different species of dragons? I don't know if you know that. 100 different species that I'm aware of. Yeah, I know a lot about dragons. I
That's
am Dragon
amazing.
King, and so are you. To have dragons in your life, you must be Dragon King, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
But me and Jim can help you, Tony, with your quest for sanctuary. Yeah, I'm a spiritual advisor, and yeah, I'd save people from suicide. To be honest.
I was
Yeah,
going
I
to
don't
say
want to say.
something, but I don't know if it's appropriate. I used to have a
Go on,
belly
let's say
ring
it.
and it was a dragon. Anyway, my belly button, I had it pierced a long time ago. And anyway, it was a dragon. I had this beautiful, it was rhinestone, studded out. It's appropriate, I guess, We love dragons.
Vic Macro says living in the now is the most important. Bringing stuff from the past is now is like carrying baggage. Tony Wolz. That's what he says.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Vic.
for that, Vic.
I
Yeah.
really appreciate your friendship. You're so good. Yeah, he's one of the most spiritual people I've ever met in my life. Vic,
Uh,
he's
yeah.
great. hmm He's a real
Morgan
deal.
translation. Beth and hello, welcome down the welcome rabbit hole. Yeah, we're down the rabbit hole. With Toni Wolz is in the house. She's a clairvoyant at random. Just comes to her and like no rituals. She's experienced phenomena, and that's why Tony's on the show. And your words are sincere, and your words are binding as well. Yeah, we look for sincerity in people as well. And you're very passionate as well, Tony. I could tell
Yeah. Thank you,
I'm
Bradley.
back.
that.
Hi.
I lost my internet connection.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
want you to do this show, please.
I had another past life that I actually, I'm hoping I can get somebody to help me with it because it is a relationship thing. It showed me with two men, two people. And, it didn't give me the answer, but it showed one who cared about me, but I have no idea who he was. And he had his forehead up to me like he cared. Like, and he wasn't mean or violent or anything. He was just like, I care about you. Okay. Well, the other one was mad. He was standing there just really huffing and puffing. And I'm thinking, okay, he's mad that I'm with talking to this other person. And it just showed me running. away and me saying, this is too much and I just want to be left alone. So I was thinking to myself that, is that some kind of a sign, some kind of a message for me? You know, I haven't been able to figure that one out, but I sure did see myself. I was so pretty. I really liked that part, how pretty I was, because, you know, I was real tan. I have this
Yeah.
tan skin, and, you know, I'm British. Like, I'm Scottish and English, okay? And I'm real white, you know, fair complected. You know, it was really, really cool, though, to be, you know, tanned and yeah, so it was really pretty. So I liked it. And I guess I had a lot of admirers. So that was nice. But I didn't really get any answers, you know? I was
Vic is
confused.
asking, do you ever discover where your soul is actually from whilst going through your past lives in the physical state, Toni?
Well, I'm working on trying to figure out what color my light is, because I know that I am a light energy being of love, and I know that I have a certain amount of love, and I'm trying to expand that love. And I think that's why this life has been so difficult. So I don't know if my light is still white, if it's turning yellow or blue yet, but that's what I'm trying to figure out. Because if I can
Morgan
figure out,
Roundtree is saying you sound Southern like her.
yeah, yeah, I'm a little Southern girl from Kentucky. I love horse racing. They call it
Oh, look at
fast
I've
men,
raced a
beautiful
horse.
horses, or
That's where they have
uh,
the Triple Crown, isn't it?
yeah, one of them, yes, yeah, yeah. And
Wasn't
Secretariat
there
was the
wasn't
best
there
horse in the world, huh?
wasn't there one season there where one horse won all three?
Secretariat. I
Yeah,
never watched it.
Secretariat. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
And Barbaro was my horse, and oh my gosh, but he died in the third race. Gosh, he was fast. He was beautiful. He was amazing. But you know, they didn't put any steroids or anything in Secretariat. He won by pure. Uh,
Uh,
he was, but you know that's what they do nowadays. From what I hear, they put a bunch of steroids in the horses and stuff, which is really kind of sad. I hope they're being watched or checked. But yeah,
well, that's all about the almighty buck there.
yeah. It's like one of the things about planet Earth that I saw that's makes this place not completely real. Like this simulation. Like who would ever do that? Like, who wants wars? Who does bad stuff? We're here for lessons and lessons only. Like all this bad stuff, it's just for lessons. Like who
Life
does
is a
that? Us creators who
you know,
are trying to
life,
expand our love.
life is a journey to be experienced, not a problem to be solved.
Right. Yeah. It'll always be like this, probably. Um, they are talking about the planet moving into a higher state of consciousness. And if that happens, maybe there won't be any wars. Maybe people will get that 1,000 year of peace, that age of Aquarius that they've always spoken about.
Barbara Butcher
Um,
says the earth is the hardest school.
yeah. And they say that it's the hardest, but what I think is also true is the possibility that it could also be the fastest. So, like maybe the Palladians, they have 1,000 years, in a lifetime. They have beautiful, amazing lives, but it takes longer. And
That's got
here
to
on
do
planet
with
Earth, it's
that's got to do with the DNA and the genetics.
yeah, But I know that when we sign up for Planet Earth, it's going to be, I guess it's faster. Um, that's what I'm gathering and hearing from Spirit, is that, you know, we do come here because it's faster. We can expand our love, which is what we're trying to accomplish. So that, like this upside down pyramid, have you ever heard it explained like that? Where you put the pyramid upside down, and the big side is up here, and then it goes down here in the skinny side. So, like, God is up at the top, and we're down here on these levels, and we're trying to get up with source energy, God energy. And that's what we're working to accomplish, because God is this incredibly loving, innocent, beautiful light being that is just, you know, so amazing. And we are trying to become like him. And, you know, that's what we're working towards.
Now,
Trying
is there a limit to ascension, or is it limitless in your opinion?
a limit.
Yeah.
The only thing that I know is, like, I think that beings like Jesus and the Buddha, I think they came back here, and they were like in ninth density. They had this aura, and everybody gravitated towards them and fell madly in love with their spirit and their beauty and just their love. And I think that they only came back just to fulfill those, like God or in his group had
What I mean,
Jesus.
what I mean to say is, we're mortal human beings with the possibility of ascension, right? So if you can ascend all the way to the level of being a god,
Yeah.
if gods, now we're also told that gods are at war with each other, right? More than one god. You have gods that are at war against each other. So my question would be, what good is ascension if you're going to ascend all the way up to the level of a god and still have the ignorance as a human being where you're at now at this lower level? I mean, what do you really learn?
I felt it once, a couple times really. It's love. It's this feeling.
Well, yeah, but I mean, everybody
Never.
talks about ascension, so you can ascend to the level of a god, but yet all of the beings that have been able to achieve that, there's still turmoil and chaos at the god level. Why is that?
I don't know.
And if that's the case, and there's any truth to that,
Not
what
that
good
I
is
know of.
ascension?
I seriously doubt it. I think that I mean, the negative.
You know, we always debate the law of man and the laws of God
Yeah.
with overlooking what I think is the most important laws of all, and that's the laws of nature.
The laws of nature.
Right. And as far as tuning into the source, we are the source.
Right.
We are the source. Okay. And in my opinion, nature need not a creator, for nature has a way of creating, producing, reproducing, sustaining, destroying, and rejuvenating itself.
I don't know about the destroying. They say that
Well, nature destroys it.
energy can't be
You
destroyed.
have natural disasters. That's destruction.
Oh yeah, you mean
Nature
you're on the
destroys.
earth.
Okay, you
Yeah.
can have a tsunami that wipes out 250,000 people at one time. Do you
Right.
think the universe or nature itself is going to feel guilty in any way?
Oh, you mean the earth?
Right.
No.
Well, you see, the word nature is a form of the word natural. See, so you have natural laws you have to deal with. And man's problem is he's always trying to outsmart nature, but nature will always rule over man.
That's a really good theory.
Man has this notion that the earth belongs to him, when in reality, man belongs to the earth.
That's a really, really good theory. I actually have never really haven't thought about it too much.
Yeah, but when we ascend as gods, we don't behave like gods, you know.
Oh
We don't
no.
behave like them. We behave like ourselves.
When
Love to be.
them gods ascend to the level they're already at, and there's still chaos at that level, they're not acting as gods either.
No, but we will behave ourselves, you know.
I
And
honestly,
we will shine the light upon them, and they will behave, or we'll attack them.
I honestly have no idea. I've only seen on the other side. During meditation and different, I've actually been able to see into it, and I've only felt just really really good stuff. I've never felt anything. The only bad I've seen is I've seen some, like, which I think that they were me. I think that I might have been a witch that was burned at the stake, and like the Salem witch hunt. I think that I've been spiritual in a lot of lives, and it's kind of sad when you think about, you know, because at first I thought, oh my God, you know, I've had probably 1,000 lives, and now I'm having my beautiful ending. This is my spiritual, beautiful life, and I'll get to ascend, but that isn't true. I've had these spiritual lives like multiple times. So it's kind of hard to, take a little bit, but I think that I've failed, I might have failed some lives and not been able to get my expansion that I needed, or my lesson. So I don't know if
Midnight,
they're up there warring, if these gods are warring against each other, but
Midnight Rider is asking Jim, just because a species such as God beings exist with great powers does not mean that they are on a higher dimension. It just means they have advanced powers. Well, they had to ascend somewhat in order to achieve them powers. I mean, as far as God is concerned, in my opinion, what God is an energy source in essence that makes all things possible. We are that source. If we're made in God's image and we are
mhm,
just like God, God is just like us, which means he is the good, the bad, and the ugly, just like we are. Now, if he tells you don't thou shalt not kill, but yet kills millions by flood, going against one of his own commandments, not being a very good role model. So that
mhm,
tells me that he has inner struggles within himself, just like we do.
mhm. I know, and I've often thought that God Himself um, did not intentionally create it, that these things happened as a cause and effect type thing,
Yeah, that's right,
that He
Morgan.
didn't anticipate it,
That's right,
because what I've
Morgan.
seen, I've only seen God from a distance. It let me know that I'm not that close yet. And it let me know that it was like this innocent, loving being that couldn't do anything bad, So
Well,
I don't think it was
Morgan,
intentional.
Morgan Roundtree says
Yeah.
we are that source. Yes, we are that source, and that source is us.
It's a hive mind, and we have this, we're all separated really, but we're attached in our connection. So
Well,
it's
we're
hard.
all connected by the flower of life. The flower of life is like God's gene, and we're all connected by the flower of life. I think
Yes,
together,
I love that term.
wait a minute.
It's better.
And where did we all come from before we entered the light? We come from out of the darkness, right?
yeah.
You must travel through the darkness before you can enter the light. So
Right.
everything is created within the darkness, and it comes into the light. Okay. I was in the womb for 9 months, the darkness of the womb for 9 months before I traveled down the tunnel and into the light. All
Yeah,
the sustenance that the earth grows and provides for our survival grows out of what? The darkness of the ground and into the light. Right.
yeah.
You got a day of hard work. You come home exhausted. You lay back, you shut your eyes, and you slip into what? The tranquility of darkness, feeling refreshed the next day. See, I think darkness gets a bad rap. You know what I think?
Yeah.
I think light is actually artificial and an illusion, and darkness is the real thing. Because first of all,
Mhm.
it says God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. So originally, darkness was here, which
Right.
means darkness was real, right?
Absolutely.
And we can replicate light, we can duplicate light through different ways that we can create light, but we can't create darkness. So perhaps light itself is just a mere illusion.
Huh. I hope not. I was doing a whole lot better early on in my spirituality, and I thought I had it figured out. There is no evil, there's no negative. We just signed up for these hardcore lessons, but there isn't like the reptilian thing that I
Well,
had.
you know, there is no
I
negative or
believe
positive. The only
there
place
what?
is a negative. The only place is there's negative and positive is in the
Yeah.
human psyche. That's the only place it exists. It doesn't exist within any other species in the world but man.
Mm-hmm.
And man's intelligence will be his downfall. See,
Yeah.
for example, a cow grazing in a field is probably more than likely satisfied by doing just that, grazing in a field. But man, due to his higher level of intelligence, will never truly be satisfied until he self-annihilates.
Barbara Bolter said, I think when you reach the highest level of the soul, then you become part of the original source of the Godhead. That's what Barbara said.
Yeah, I've heard that. Buddhists believe that we're all our own separate gods, sort of like what Jim's saying, that even some of those gods up there are warring against each other. I honestly don't know. Basically, I haven't really studied a whole lot of Buddhism. I've read some of it, but I kind of lean
Oh yeah,
towards
well think
Hindu.
about it. Think about it. If gods at that level are still at
Hmm.
chaos amongst themselves,
Yeah,
that's why there's never been peace on earth and probably never will be.
yeah, yeah. I really don't know the answer to that. I really don't. I I kind of hope it's not. I know that they say that we are the collective consciousness, and that if we all got together and thought the same
Yeah,
thought,
well,
we
that's
can
the thing.
create.
That's the thing. But you got to get together as a collective, and that'll never happen.
I know. It's a hard one, isn't it?
Oh, to get the light workers will win the day eventually, I believe.
They say that large sums of light workers, like if you got even 10, that's a large sum that can take care of a lot of areas. I honestly, I don't know. I thought that I was going to be a light worker, but I'm not so sure. With these problems
Yeah.
that I have to sort through, I think it could hold me back. Apparently, this goal of mine is been ongoing. This problem was self-defeating and me sabotaging myself with looking back and feeling like that, I failed. Um, I've said it. I failed,
I
and I
like
had
to I
so
like
many
to
people.
address I like to address this here. Midnight Rider saying so. Are you saying that trafficking, raping, and sacrificing children is not dark or negative? Now when you define that as dark or negative, that's a concept, okay? But you got to
Yeah,
understand what you're all of what you're speaking of right now is happening out here in the light, not within the darkness. It's not the darkness's fault.
yeah.
If we would have stayed in the darkness without entering the light, we
Excuse
wouldn't
me.
even know about or experience any of those things that you are speaking of right now.
Yeah, I think that it's horrible,
Yeah, I'm not reading this one, Jim. I
but
will.
they say that it's supposed to be spiritual. You sign up for bad things, and it leads you. You're praying. You're praying to God every night because these bad things happened.
Well,
Whereas if
that's where
good
all
things
these
did,
bad things, that's where all these bad things and chaos occurs is within the light. The darkness was nice and peaceful before all this.
right? Yes, you got the. I see what you're saying. Yes, sir. It
Christopher
was
Peebles is
peaceful.
saying, in the brain and the body of Source analogy, think of Source as a big boss in charge of everything, kind of like brain in your head. The template layer acts like the brain stem, sending messages to the rest of the body, which we call physical reality, just like how every part of the body works together. Every atom in the universe contributes to the big picture of consciousness. Each tiny particle adds up to make a cell, and all those cells come together to form the whole body inside this body. Thank you for sharing that, Christopher People.
It's really beautiful.
And we
Excuse me.
have Big Boss Vic playing. Within the cosmos, there are beings that are so removed from the prime creator that in essence makes them evil. As we understand it, their need to interfere with humans on an individual level or society level in itself indicates their level of where they're at, and to impede on another sovereign race evolution in essence is a bad thing. Thank you for sharing that, Vic.
Yeah, but the thing is, if we're all source, if everything is source, how can they be separate from source to begin with?
Yeah. I think it's you look at things by the fruits they bear, how you feel. So if somebody makes you feel good, or something makes you feel good, and it's good for you, and you know, then that's how you
Hey,
guide things.
hey, Steve Morris says, "You people are confused. Smoking cigarettes, killing yourselves. You are of the devil." Okay, well, it wasn't the devil's
What?
idea for there to be death. See, and you can die by more than one thing, and by just death isn't an only sentence, death sentence. You be home sleeping at tonight, and a plane come crash through the roof and kill you. But what I'm trying to
Do you
get at
smoke
is
Let
what I
me
what
put
I,
this out here, okay?
what I'm trying to get at is this.
The
It was
devil,
God's idea that the price for sinning is death. So what's that got to do with the devil? That wasn't the devil's idea. That's God's idea,
you
right?
know,
So
Jesus,
now all of this here,
yeah,
we're born into a sinful world. There's not one person that never sinned because the bar for sinning is set so high, it's
right?
impossible not to sin, right?
It's impossible.
Okay. So
Thank you.
if the punishment for sinning is death, upon death, we paid the price for sinning. So my next question would be, what's all this hullabaloo about heaven and hell beyond that?
Yeah, right. Well, Jesus, of course, he is our ascended master, our beloved. We love Jesus. So, but he wasn't trying to die for people's sins. He came here because he wanted everyone to know that the kingdom of heaven is within inside you. It's in you. You are it.
Yeah,
He
but the
also
fact
said to
is,
meditate.
yeah, but
You know, he
the fact is, we're still going to be punished in this life. We're still going to die, even though Jesus was sacrificed on the cross. We're
yeah.
still going to experience death, which is punishment for sinning.
He only lived to be 33. He didn't stick around long enough to commit any sins. He was without sin and without guilt. So he was perfect and pure and beloved, and also a ninth density being. He was probably Adam, the first Adam. There's no telling who all he was. Like like Edgar Casey, the sleeping prophet of the 20s and 30s. He was tapping into spirit. He has a long list of all of the reincarnations of Jesus. Jesus, our perfect soul. Our everybody wants to love him and be like him with the
Chuck
beauty.
McClellan says, we are God. And that's right. If we are God, God is us,
Yes,
right?
that's
So if
right.
God is everything, he is us.
Hmm.
And God himself is both the good, is all things, the good, the
Yeah,
bad, and the ugly, just like we are.
right. And how would the devil come into my Jesus comes into my meditations all the time. So if we're evil, and if us three, you guys and me, talking about this are evil, why would Jesus come in my meditations all the time? To let me know I'm not alone.
It's
Yeah,
all
we're
about
not the
intent.
devil. Whoever said that's
It's
terrible.
all about intent. The truth isn't external. The truth is internal. The truth comes
Yeah,
from within.
yes. The truth comes from within. We carry it in us. Anyway, I was just addressing the man that called us the devil. And, it's almost like trying to bring negative energy towards someone. Anyway, we're not, we're all God. We love our God and our Creator. And we care about
Yeah.
people, even the ones that call us the devil. Right? Right, Jim?
What's that?
Yeah.
Right,
No, I was
Bradley?
reading. I was busy reading
you
a
know.
comment here. What was you saying?
We care about even the person that called us the devil. We care about them
Right,
too,
right.
don't we? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
how the
well,
devil. I don't know how the
we're
devil got dragged
empathic.
into this.
God,
I'm wearing my hat. You can't see my horns, so I don't know how the devil got dragged into this.
I've
Yeah.
heard of that. I've heard of it, you know. I've literally heard of it, but I've never actually. I think this is the first time I've ever experienced it. You know, people think that we're spiritual people that are the devil.
Darkness implies, Christopher People says, darkness implies a veil to one's perception. To be in the dark on consciousness is to have a veil over one's understanding of what they do, why they do it, and how to change. Evil is an anthropocentric adaptive to what is fundamentally the phase of ignorance that precedes a big awakening, a moment when a pinprick of light comes into a metaphorically dark room and then begins to questioning begins. Morgan Roundtree says material that can act as part of the glue is the law of one. Vic says death is only experienced by the meat sack, which is a true light beings we really are existing in for as a true self. Lives lives forever. Yeah, we are meat sacks. I understand that. Thank you, Vic. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Chuck McLennan says there are ones I call energy vampires that I deal with every day. They feed on our positive energy. Thank you for sharing that, Chuck McLennan.
Yes, that's so good. Thank you.
Yeah, people are enjoying the show. Thank you for your contribution to the show, Taryn. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, you're welcome. You have to protect your energy. You really do. People will try to steal your good energy. I've had it. Yeah, I've had it happen to me a whole lot. You wouldn't believe. It's been a problem for me. But yeah, so yeah, you've got to protect yourself.
You know what's amazing, right? You know what's amazing? You can have a colony of 90 billion ants, and they get along perfectly fine in perfect harmony with no discrepancies, like a well-oiled machine with a brain 1/millionth the size of man's. So that would have to lead to me to the question, what is man's excuse?
Mhm.
See, now the only place that the concept of God and devil, good and evil,
Mhm.
positive and negative exists is within the human psyche. Nowhere else in any other species on the world does that exist. And they
There's a
seem to
flaw in the entire design, Jim.
they seem to be getting along perfectly fine without it.
Absolutely. The flaw it's the karma. There's a major flaw in the entire design of what we're doing.
Yeah.
That's why I said I don't think that God intended it. All of these leftover problems from previous lives that we're carrying forward. That's not good. How do you accomplish something when you have all this leftover stuff? You know what I mean? That's a huge flaw in the system. And when I get back over on the other side, I'm going to tell them about it. It's taken me entirely too many lives to accomplish this one little thing, you know? We need to get this straightened out for people.
Tony, if you want to seek ascension, help others without expecting a reward. That's how you seek ascension. Helping others without expecting a reward.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard about that. You know, when you're helping someone without expecting anything in return. You were the one who actually told me about that, weren't you, Bradley?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell everyone.
Yeah.
That's how you seek ascension.
I was trying to figure it out. I was writing a list of things, and that was, you had that one at the top of the list. So that's off the
Yeah.
top of my list now.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's
And remember, we're coming to the end of the hour. Remember, Toni, you can reach out to me and Jim anytime you want. We'll have
Yeah.
a video chat with you, and we will help you find your sanctuary within. You know,
okay. Thank you so much. It's been an
you're not
honor and
alone.
pleasure to be here with you guys again.
It was a pleasure to
I'm
have
the
you.
returning champion.
Yeah.
We'll have you on again.
Don't be upset about. I'm going to say his name, but I've got to say it. I've been blocked from James Blake's group. So, like, you know, say that out downhill.
Listen, do not take it
He
personally.
blocked me, banned me from the group. I've been banned.
I'm sorry to hear that, Bradley. I really am. But yeah,
Well,
you
I
didn't do
did.
anything wrong.
That's not really bothering you, though, is it?
I hope it's
No, it's
not.
not. No, it's not. I just brush it off. Brush it off.
Yeah,
He's actually
I had
doing
to
you a
do that
favor.
too because, you know, it upset me. But yeah, there's something wrong over there.
Yeah, yeah.
It really is something really disturbing or something wrong going on. So we're fine.
Thank
We're
you for
good.
doing this.
We're good. You're
Thank
good.
you.
And I love your hat.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Right. Me and Jim, we walk down the middle. We don't worship or praise any but either side because it's good and bad on both. But we
That's
pay
right.
homage to all
That's
deities.
right.
and to
What I do
Jesus
is
God.
walk a path straight down the middle, acknowledge, respect both, but worship neither.
Yeah. That's very good. Thank you.
And I'd like to thank
Yeah, thank you,
everybody
everyone.
that viewed in, and
the forum.
I'd like to thank everybody for viewing in and interacting with us. Go ahead, Bradley.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure to have you all near us. And our guest, Toni Wolz, who's on the show. Thank you very much for appearing with us, Toni.
Thank you so much.
Thank
See
you.
you all on the next one.
All right. See you then. Thanks, guys, so much.
Bye. Bye.